How can you feel powerful at any age? That question and so much more on the next episode of The Little White Lie. Hello, everyone. It's Caren Glasser, and Happy New Year. I cannot believe we're already in the second week of January. First show back, and I am so delighted that you're here with us. Of course, if you're here on replay, thank you for being here on replay. If you'd like to go and share the show, oh my gosh, we would be eternally grateful. Go just click the little share button and send it off. And of course, let me just do the reveal. As you can tell, my hair is almost all the way grown out. But here you go. If you have not yet visited the site, you can go visit thelittlewhitelie.com. And if you are going to share or comment or make anything out there, make sure you put the hashtag LWL. So today we were talking about the statement, how can you feel powerful at any age? Well, our very special guest, Maura Sweeney, as a child, she dreamed of traveling the world and making new friends. And as a matter of fact, she just came back from traveling the world. So you create what you think. She left the Matrix at age 23 to pioneer her own path to happiness, passion, and power. And today, she's an author, a podcaster. She also is a contributor to HuffPost, who's been featured hundreds of times in the media for her views on influence, leadership, and identity. And she also is an international speaker. As I just said, she's been all around the world, and I hope that she talks a little bit about where she was this last time and who she spoke for. She's also the trademarked ambassador of happiness. How cool is that? And what's really important to note about Maura is that she has accomplished all of this. It has been self-created, self-generated, and self-styled. Guess what? Starting at age 50. So without further ado, I would like to bring in our special guest, Maura Sweeney. Hello there.
Hi, Caren. Thank you for having me. I'm thrilled to be here today.
Oh my gosh. We've been talking about doing this, I think, for over 6 months at this point, and partly your schedule. You've been all around the world, and we're going to talk about that. But somebody wants to say hello to you, so I'm going to put it on up here. Yvonne Heath. And she's saying hello to you and to me. Hello, Caren, from Muskoka, Canada. Welcome. So glad that you're here. So before we start the show, I always ask my guests what their little white lie is. So, Maura, what is your little white lie? Take it away.
Oh, this is very easy and very appropriate for this show. My little white lie is that I started getting gray hair at the age of 15. 15. And I started coloring it by my mid-20s. I am all white, but unfortunately, I don't look as beautiful as you do at that
oh
white version.
That is hysterical. Well, you've got me beat because I didn't start going white till I was 30. But that's part of the whole idea of the little white lie. It's not that you should have.
And here's what comes to mind. I think many women hear the word power or powerful, and they conjure up these ideas of what do men look like who were powerful when they were growing up or when they were going through the decades. And they think of domineering. They think of taking over. And, this is one interesting thing. I've had women tell me that when they got into the workforce, they started taking on all of those same attitudes. For me, power has nothing to do with domineering or taking over other people, but it's the whole idea of living inside your own energy and then exuding it everywhere you go from the inside out, which is why I always use that mantra, living happy from the inside out. Your energy is your power.
Oh, I love that answer. I have to just ask you, you're the ambassador of happiness. How did you get that title, and how cool is that?
I actually made the decision as a small child. I was going to grow up to be happy, and I was going to grow up to be free, even though I was supposed to be growing up to be a lawyer. But that was what I chose. And I wasn't really happy as a child. I always felt like I was in a box. But I got the title or the name when I was invited to speak at the inaugural Nelson Mandela Day celebrations outside our nation's capital. It was hosted by the UNESCO Center for Peace, and they wanted to know my title. And I said, well, it's just me. And they said, well, we have to give you a title. And they realized I travel the world. I wrote about what makes us feel happy from the inside out. And I was a uniter, and they said, we've got it. You're the ambassador of happiness. And once everybody heard it, it was like, Maura, that's exactly what you are. And so somebody else said, go trademark it. So now I'm official.
I love that. Maura, that is an amazing story. And it just goes to the power of the mind, right? You're just out there doing your thing. And look what happens.
You know what? Thanks for saying that, Caren, because I am so much about the mind. You would think, like, looking at me, I'm animated, that I'm an outside person, but really everything I am started from the inside. And I really envisioned myself as a Goodwill ambassador as a child. I didn't have a title for it. And I think that everything that I ever did was all in preparation for these things I'm doing today. So again, I made it up out of my own mind.
Well, it was a very nice place in there. Kim Castle says, love that. Me too.
Hi, Kim.
I really like this. So, okay, I'm kind of a structure girl, and I'm a list maker, and surprise for anybody that knows me. But are there steps to developing your power? I mean, is there like a checklist? If I do this and I do this, is there such a thing?
Ooh, I never thought about it as a checklist, but I do have a couple of ideas. First of all, spend a little bit of time every day by yourself and with yourself. Do you know most of us are always getting all of our ideas from everybody else, and then we mistake their ideas for our ideas, their values for our values, and their stuff for our stuff. So I would say spend even a couple of minutes every day by yourself and say to yourself, whether it's the morning or the evening, what do I feel good about right now? What am I enjoying? What makes me feel empowered, or what makes me feel disempowered? Hi, April. I know, I feel like April. We have to put a little kudos in there for April, who introduced us last year.
Thank you, April.
Thanks, April. The next thing I would say is you always have this choice in every situation. Am I making myself into a victim, or am I turning myself into a beneficiary? And if more than anything, Caren, that has carried me through life, because as a little child, I used to feel like a victim. I can't do this. I can't go there. Yeah. And I used to think, I am miserable being this way. So I need to say, how can I turn this around to something good? And a beneficiary mindset is, I may not like where I am right now, but whatever it is, this is working together for something good, which is where you get beneficiary from.
That's
good.
Great. Love that.
And that is power. That is such power. I kid you not.
Those are great, great, great tips. Okay, so now you have one more?
No, I could give you more. I could keep talking on anything, Caren.
Okay,
go to the next
guys,
question.
You've been commenting down there. Let's let Maura give us one more. I'm going to look through the comments, and then I'm going to put some stuff up here.
You know what else I'm going to give is another one that I love. Get out of your comfort zone. If you want to know your power, step out of your comfort zone. So many of us want to do things. We have an idea. Maybe we're creatives. Maybe there's something we never did before. We have to give ourselves permission to step out of the comfort zone and just say, I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to give it a whirl. And do you know it's in the doing of it that we get our power? We lose our fear. We overcome insecurities. We become far more forgiving of ourselves. We grow in knowledge, natural confidence, and there it is. That's a biggie.
That is a huge one, and you left that one for the last. Oh, my gosh.
I know. All right, and by the way, since I could do this, because I guess we could do anything on your show, I wrote a book about exiting the comfort zone, and anybody who wants to write to me, you figure out how they could do it. They could write Maura at mauraforyou.com, or they could do it through you. It doesn't matter. If they put little white lies, all right, I will send them the book, Exiting the Comfort Zone. And it's all for them on gaining their power.
That's the number 4, right? The number 4.
Maura, number 4, letter U.com.
Okay, guys, I'm putting it up on the screen. You just heard it here first. You're going to get a complimentary copy sent directly to you from Maura. Maura, thank you. That's very, very nice. Thank you.
I love doing things like that.
I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Okay, so I know that you just got back. You were all around the world. I mean, you were speaking everywhere. Tell us a little bit about your journey. I think you were on television. What were you doing?
Again, I made it up. But I joined my husband, thank God for this man who could get me from point A to B to C to D. We were gone for about 4 weeks, and we went to Albania, Macedonia, Kosovo, Serbia, and Greece. And I spoke in 15 venues, to leadership conferences, universities, 2 American Embassy outposts, a women's entrepreneur group. And I was on national TV in 3 of those places. So it was a busy time. I loved it. I met new people. Plus, I got together with other people I already knew. And here I am. I'm literally doing everything I love, getting to meet new people, being in different environments, sharing ideas, hopefully inspiring people. And it was fun.
I'm in awe of you, actually, because you created something out of what started as a trip with your husband, I'm gathering, to go.
Oh, I say I joined him because he literally could figure out how to get me on special buses and everything. But no, he sends me on my own too. In fact, in a couple of months, I'll be going back to The Hague to speak again at a women's conference. And
so our viewers, it's clear you need to get to know Maura. Okay. It's very good. You need to get to know her. And one of the things that I want to bring up right now is that, Maura, I know you have a special, I hate to use the word offer, but you have a program. It's called Foundations of Happiness. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it? And I'm going to actually put a link at the bottom here. It's hyperlinked. You can click on it. You're giving 50% off the program to our viewers. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the program?
Okay, it's a self-study course, and I actually had to put it together because so many people, after hearing me speak or reading some of my blogs or listening to my podcast, would say, Maura, I hear you, but I need to know more of the hows. How do I take myself from where I am to where I want to be? How do I have more power? How do I feel more like my authentic self? So instead of being a one-on-one coach, I just created this program. It is totally immersive. There are things to read, like as in stories. There are videos to watch. There are audios to listen to. And what it is, this self-study course that goes into your mind. What are your thoughts about? What's the narrative you've given to yourself? Maybe what are some unforgiveness issues? Where do you want to grow? What did you always want to be? How do you change where you've been? And even reposition the fabric and the design of your life and use all of those elements, the good, the bad, the things you thought were wonderful and the things you thought were terrible, and put them together and reposition yourself into something new and fresh and authentic, empowering, and most of all, happy. And I think the happiness really comes from being free to be yourself and express yourself.
I love that. You know what? When I grow up, I want to be you. I want to have what you're having. I truly do. I want to have what you're having. You really inspire me. You inspire me by your ability just to get out there and do what you're doing and getting out of your own backyard. And as my good friend Joey Garrity likes to say, the uncomfortable is the new comfortable. And sometimes we just have to be uncomfortable. Go visit Maura on her website. You can also visit her via Twitter. And if you want to go check her out on Facebook, here is all of her Facebook link. There should not be 2 little dots there, so please disregard. It should be fb.com/Maura for you. And go check her out there. Any last words you want to share with our viewers before we say goodbye? Because we have already run out of time.
Oh my gosh, I knew it was going to be so quick, but good. Caren, I would say for anybody who's listening today, there will never be another you, and the world has been waiting for you. So what things you have within you that you want to explore, that you want to express, give yourself permission today to do it and to step out of that comfort zone. And if you don't give yourself permission, know that I just gave it to you. How's that as a good close?
That's a great close, but we're actually going to say we're big fat liars, because I have a question here from April Roga. And if you can take a couple of minutes, maybe let's look at this and see if we can give her some tips. What should people do who don't like to do anything by themselves? Do you have any tips for people who find themselves wanting to transform with an accountability partner? Any tips?
Oh, see with this, they don't like to do anything by themselves. Do you know, I used to feel that was the model. You had to do something with other people. And I'm going to tell you why I became something else is because I wanted to be a positive model for my daughter. I purposely made myself go to events. Sometimes it was social events. Sometimes it was networking events. Sometimes it was to the theater. I would go all by myself and I would learn to make myself comfortable. And guess what? Now I have to tell this to April. There were times that maybe I'm going somewhere. My husband said, hey, you want to invite so-and-so to go with you? And I think, no, I don't want them to slow me down. Just do it.
I love it. That's
just
a great
do it. Start small.
Yeah.
And eventually
that's a great answer. And I want to thank you because it's a great way to kind of come to a close for this show. We want to thank everyone for taking time out of your busy schedule to spend it with us because we know you have choices. We're busy out there. Thank you for sharing it with us. We will see you next time on the next episode of The Little White Lie. Goodbye, everyone.